How do you prevent code duplication in JavaScript if-else statements? Imagine writing a long list of if-else statements and realizing you keep repeating the same code over and over. It can make your code messy and hard to update. So, how do you keep your code clean and avoid repeating yourself? Let's explore some simple ways to do that. First, instead of copying the same code in multiple places, you can put that code into a separate function. Think of it like creating a small machine that does one job. When you need that job done, just call the function. If the logic varies slightly, you can pass different information into the function as parameters. For example, if you have different user roles like admin or editor that need similar actions, create a function called handleUserAction and pass the role as an argument. This way, you write the code once and reuse it everywhere. Next, look at your conditions carefully. Sometimes, you might check the same thing more than once, which is unnecessary. If you find yourself repeating the same condition, try to combine those checks using logical operators like AND or OR. This keeps your conditions clear and reduces duplication. Another trick is to use data structures like objects or maps. Instead of writing many if-else statements, create an object where keys are your conditions or roles, and values are functions that perform the needed actions. When you want to run a task, just look it up in the object and call the function. This makes adding new roles or conditions much easier and keeps your code tidy. Switch statements are also helpful. They are like a cleaner version of multiple if-else blocks when you are checking the same variable against different values. Using switch statements can make your code easier to read and reduce repetitive code. You can also simplify your logic by using early returns. Instead of nesting multiple if-else blocks, check for a condition and exit the function right away if it's true. This approach reduces the need for else blocks and keeps your code straightforward. Be cautious about making functions handle too many things with Boolean flags. If you find yourself passing true or false to a function to change its behavior, it might be better to split that function into smaller, more specific ones. This keeps your code clear and easy to maintain. For example, instead of writing if userRole is equal to admin, perform admin task. Else if userRole is equal to editor, perform admin task. Else if userRole is equal to viewer, perform viewer task. You can create a function like perform task for role that takes the role as an argument. Or better yet, set up an object that maps roles to functions. Control actions is equal to admin, perform admin task. Editor, perform admin task. Viewer, perform viewer task. Then just look up the role in the object and call the function if it exists. This way, your code is shorter, easier to read, and simple to update when new roles come in. In short, to prevent code duplication in if-else statements, focus on creating reusable functions, avoid repeating conditions, and use data structures or switch statements to organize your logic. These practices make your code cleaner, easier to understand, and much simpler to maintain.